Okay. Hello. Um, so sorry for the late start. We had a bit of a reschedule. And then our lovely beloved producer Adeline was not available to stream today. So today it is I, Liv, and Hydra, and we are running this show off my laptop.
Yippee!
Yeah, we got this for sure. Absolutely nothing will go wrong ever.
Absolutely nothing has ever gone wrong. Period. We're gonna pop off.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't download the clips, did we? Maybe we did that during intermission, like. But anyway, so for the first time, we actually probably not the first time in like our history, but first time in at least a bit, we have some pre-show stuff to go through. Um, okay, so I trusted Hydra with doing this while I was frantically putting together graphics. So let's see if he did a good job, or if I have to fire him. Let's go. All right. So Hydra kept his job for now.
Let's go!
Yay, good for you. Okay, so we're gonna start with a little stat overview of Jinkasa. This is um not made by our graphics people, clearly, but I did my best. Anyway, so Jinkasa is our number one hyper carry, the guy on the team we want to get fed and focus our resources into. If he gets ahead, we'll probably win the game. If he gets behind, we are definitely losing the game. Um, and you can see his stats kind of reflect that. There's a solid 8.2 in KDA, 102 kills over 9 games. He's only played 4 unique champions, Yunara, Jinx, his namesake, Sivir, and Kaisa. 9.1 CS per minute with a record of 11.6 in one game, I believe on Sivir. It's a little terrifying. Uh, and as you can see, his damage per minute approaching 1,000 damage per minute. He is definitely our main carry. Um, and he has the stats to prove it. Okay. Hydra, you want to talk a little about that?
Yeah, so this game, I'm assuming, is going to be a very big 2v2 of Doom. We're gonna see a lot of scrapping between USC and UCSC's bot lanes, both playing very aggressively. Slightly different champ pools, with UCSC having a little bit more um, early game focused champions like the Corki or Tristana, whereas Jinkasa plays more traditionally hyper carry, a little bit slower in lane champions. But um, if Jinkasa is able to pull ahead here with Yunjia, there's a good chance that they just run over the game from here.
Yeah, I think Yunja is a bit of a fan favorite. And when I say fan, I mean Adeline, dear producer, who is not in chat, which is kind of a shame because I had a bit planned. But if we're done talking about Jinkasu, then we can go on to what I believe will be. Oh, oh crap. Guys, we're fine. Wait, Hydra, you are so fired.
That wasn't me. That literally was
I
not
told
me.
you to download the Yunja stats. Okay, we don't have the Yunja stats. Adeline cries, but she's not here, so it's okay. Uh, um, we don't have Yunja stats. My fault. Kappa. But we do have champion pools. As you can see, GJ Kings and Yunja recording 7 new champions each. Pretty significant for Yunja, especially since he's only played 8 games. Nutty played the last game for CLOL. GJ King is over 9 games, played 7 different champions. Which one's been your favorite, Hydra?
Uh, I'm a big fan of going rock solid with the Malphite jungle. It's pretty much new to this season. I haven't seen it before ever, like even just watching League. So it has been a joy to see just pop off.
Yeah, for sure. I think my favorite was. Can I just? I think my favorite was definitely the Pantheon. That was kind of the stuff of legends for me. He went like 11-1, I want to say, and just all overall, just the playmaking with the Talia was just amazing. Sorry, we are having small numbers of technical difficulties while I try to set stuff up. Um, Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put a new graphic on. Okay, this one is for you, Adeline. This is our Yunja's stats. fun thing, as you can see, he's actually got this exact same kill participation as Jinkasu. Admittedly, not over the same number of games, but it just really tells you a lot about how influential both of these players are. Because at some point, as much as I'd love to say, yeah, this is just them and their duo synergy, yeah, like they're always just getting kills together, I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Yunja is a big enjoyer of roaming, while Jinkasu, as an AD carry, wants to get his waves in. So he does tend to do that most often. But KDA, average of 12.7, because he had one game, I believe, where he was deathless, and that just absolutely skews the stats most of the time. Save for Jinkazu. His CS per minute, I mean, why is that on the screen? Because I didn't have time to take it out of the graph. So he does have an average of 1 CS per minute officially. Gold per minute, 303, 281 damage per minute. It's really not that important. Just look at those top two stats. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, the kill participation being that high is pretty huge for both our players here. It might be a little deceptive, the fact that they have similar kill participations, in fact, the exact same. One might assume that it's because they just 2v2 the entire game, but they're actually very proactive players and very self-sufficient. Jinkasa, as you'll probably see this game, very, very hyper-aggressive, looking for plays, even by himself on some of these characters, especially like Kaisa. Um, Whereas Yunja, again, as we said, very good at roaming, playing around with his jungler, DJ Kings, who hopefully we'll see pop off in these couple games. Yeah, he's just pretty good all around. Pretty good.
Yeah, coming into this, we were going to try to get some clips, messing around with the idea of a pre-show. We had some Chikasu Kaisa highlights actually, now that you mentioned it. We did not get those in, unfortunately. I don't think, honestly, we're gonna have the time to do it. Because I am not paying for YouTube Premium, so. But with that said, it is 3:44. They agreed to start at 3:45. Do I believe they're actually going to start at 3:45? Hydrate, look in the gaming lab. Who's there? There are two people. Who is it? All right, yeah, Jinho, obviously our lovely captain, and unknown player number two. We cannot very much see from this production room, but we do get to use this production room because we booked at the lab. Whoopee! Hello. I'm sure you're glad to see our lovely smiling faces. Wait, we're not smiling.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of like very even.
We are simply just um remaining calm. We are not getting excited. We will not overhype anything. I fear there are no just plain happiness emotions programmed into this little guy, and I think you just have speaking.
Yeah, more or less.
I mean, you're not gonna see us for long anyway. Um,
While we're waiting, did we want to potentially talk about the draft or what we're expecting to see from some of these games?
oh, oh, for sure. You know what? Why don't we go back to my funny little graphic while we're at it? Okay. Ta-da!
Wow.
So, going into draft, you had the chance to look at the op.gg for the opponents.
Yeah, I did. I got to look at some of their past games for this CLOL season, as well as their OP.GGs, what they've been playing recently, and some pretty standout stuff, I'd say. Some things were pretty clear, especially their game plans and how they play as a whole, came out to me as I was just kind of looking there. Um, I would say they're more or less kind of like a USC mirror. Their jungler plays very standard kind of bruiser, self-sufficient champions that can kind of do their own thing while the rest of their team kind of goes along. Their bot lane, um, their AD carry, whose name I'm blanking on currently, but we'll see probably soon. Again, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, very aggressive in lane, liking champs like the Corkis, the Tristanas, things that can get ahead early, punish lanes, and scale from there. Seems like very much their core of the team, who they're wanting to play around, like as their jungler kind of does their own thing. The ADC and support are really trying to hammer in leads early game, and to reflect that, on top of the early game ADCs, their support very much is not traditionally a support player. As they play alone, they usually stick towards top lane. So they end up usually just picking champions that complement very well what their ADC is playing. Again, their ADC is like their entire game plan. Um, to further emphasize this, their mid laner and top laner both play very good side laning champs. I'm seeing things like the Yone, the Victor, things that do okay in lane, scale pretty well, but oh, I'm on the screen. Scale pretty well, but end up popping off late game where they can push towers, get objectives really fast while their team stalls on the other side of the map. And having two sides being pushed while the core three of the support, ADC, and jungler stick together, try to find picks, plays around the game and the map, is just a very powerful strategy that we've seen time and time again throughout the years.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not in Hydra's speaking position, so you will just see Hydra in silence. But yes, I was told, I think, by GJ Kings going into this matchup that, like you said, UCSC have a playstyle very similar to ours, where it's all about that bot lane, getting ahead and carrying. So I guess the goal is a bot diff. Maybe, hopefully, that won't be too hard to achieve.
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting to see lots and lots of action, um, especially if Jinkusa does his Jinkusa thing and just goes all out bot, even though they're playing a champion that scales like 3 items plus. So yeah, we're really gonna see if Jinxa either can get a lead early by just hands diffing the opponent, or if they choose to take it back a little bit, play a little bit slower, play towards scaling, knowing that they don't have to necessarily engage these early game ADCs quite as much. But I do not expect, I do not honestly expect that to be the case at all. I feel like it's gonna be an absolute fist fight.
I heard this stream has the best looking casters and producer and streamer ever. Aw, thanks. We have some pretty nice looking viewers too. Hi, Mom. I love you.
My mom doesn't watch these streams.
Did you tell her you were streaming?
No.
Well, that's probably why.
Anyways, so for the rest of the team, um, Ambitious is a pretty good player in lane as well as in team fights, and especially with the okay but slightly weaker mid lane champ pool um, for UCSC, uh, there is potential for a lot of upsets or potential roams in mid lane playmaking.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, we were just getting a little invite going on. I feel like the push to talk key I gave you was actually like secretly just really a terrible one. Because when you're speaking and I'm trying to do stuff in the background, I realized the shift key. Um, I should have chosen something that like doesn't do anything, but
Yeah, it's a little annoying. Maybe the tilde would have worked, but yeah, we should be getting into game pretty soon here. Do we know if we're gonna be able to see draft as it happens, or are we just gonna be getting the after, just like the screen of it all done?
they're probably going to draft out of client, but they will repeat the same order, I believe, when they pick. If not, I will beg and plead them to send us the draft order because that's important.
Yeah, a little bit, especially with like the storytelling and like the mindset behind the drafts. Order very much matters. Like depending on what people pick first or what people try to like um, use to bait out other picks can very much like foretell what the game plan behind a team strategy really is.
Yeah, for sure. And we are going to side select. I wonder what side. I'm gonna guess red side for USC. I feel like that's just their most favorite side. Every time they're choosing sides, I just hear Jinho go, "Yeah, we're going red." So probably red side. Unless they have a really strong first pick they want to pull out. Like I don't know, Jinx, but surely you banned that, right?
Yeah, I'm expecting Jinx to get banned. Um, Low key, I feel like UCSC is gonna just straight up ban out bot laners, like either just ADCs or ADCs and supports, just trying to really pinch this USC bot lane, try to get that get that lead that they're looking for, set Jinkasa and Yunjia behind, and the lobby is bugged, so we will be delayed a little bit further.
I mean, it happens. Riot are adding voice chat again for some reason.
Again, was it a thing to begin with?
I I feel like it's always a rumor with them. Like they're always every few years they're like, hey, what if we add voice chat? And like everyone is like, no, no, please don't.
Yeah, I've played Valorant briefly, and if League chat is anything similar to what I see on like Valorant Swift play or especially ranked, keep it away from me, please.
Yeah. Um, just like Valorant alone was like, okay, yeah, blind pick custom, so they are going to be drafting out of game. So
We might be able to ask them for a spectator link to the draft if we want
yeah,
to.
we might be able to see that. I probably won't put a spectator link into the stream because I'll probably like leak the thing and then you'll draft
Oh
like
yeah, no.
Unitov. Yeah,
Just like
get
put it in the scene.
Um, but yeah, we will hopefully get into game soon. Uh, we've only had what, three mishaps so far?
Yeah, I mean, considering we're streaming from a laptop, a little last minute, I think this is going absolutely swimmingly.
And you know what? While we got the time, how about we go to quote unquote intermission and I change your push to talk to a key that's less intrusive.
Let's go!
Okay. So, we're back. I forgot to put, the intermission screen on, but it's totally fine. Um, yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Yeah. Okay. So, I believe they are figuring out a lobby now and just figuring out op.gg's, unsure of who the support was. Um, but yeah, when you were looking at their op.gg's, I heard you say two top laners.
Yeah, so, on top of having their actual top laner, um, I'm pretty sure Chief Oreo is the name of their player who's playing support. But yeah, they are, I'm pretty sure, like an Mbessa player, like very much not someone you'd expect to like swap to support, but they've kind of, hmm. Okay, sorry about that. They've kind of pivoted nicely. They've gone from playing stuff like bruisers and uh like just tanks and traditional like top laners to things like Pike and Bard, the most non-traditional supports you could imagine. But to be fair, they're also putting in the hours on some of the more traditional stuff like the Lulus and the Threshes, stuff like that.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna need to check on the lobby here. Oh, don't mind this. Okay, so actually, USC Esports are going to take the blue side. So I'm just wrong all the time. I always do this, I swear. Like that time, you were you there? I don't remember, but I was watching a USC pick, and I was thinking, oh, maybe they take support here. And last time I thought anything was gonna happen in support, you ended up picking Yumi, and like I screamed.
I think I was actually there for that game. I was very much not on the Yumi train as it happened, but to to their credit, they made it work. The Yunja Yumi is allowed to be picked. I will not yell about it.
They most certainly did make it work. At first, I was like, dang, no rel? But then the way Jikasa played that Kaisa Yumi with Yunja attached to him, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was very much just like Jinkisa doing their Jinkisa thing on the Kaisa, just going absolutely nuts, diving whoever they wanted, and the cat was just on top of them, providing them like basically a second HP bar.
Yep, and that is possibly what we're going to look forward to. I kind of hope not, because I prefer, I think, to see Jikasa Yunja on something fun with like an engaged champion for Yunja specifically. His Thresh, we all know I'm a fan of his Thresh because the next time, because I had the Yumi in mind when he was picking, I was like, well, we could see a Yumi here even. And then, of course, he didn't. He in fact, instantly picked Thresh, so.
Yeah, you can't be picking stuff like Yumi or like other weird champions and just never pull them out again. I know they're niche, but you set an expectation that the viewers want to see more of the weird stuff.
I just saw Yunja say, let's do tournament draft, guys, and then,
Another lobby, let's
let's
go!
go! Third lobby's a charm!
Oh no, they were able to switch it just in there. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Bro, the way he just dropped the mic and left. I was like, can you change it? But if you didn't know, I believe Yunja went to UCSC for undergrad. So
I did not actually know that.
I when I was adding him on this website for a LAN that's later, his name was UCSC Yunja, and I was like,
Oh,
I know, right? So he is he might know someone on the team, he might not. He's been kind of a point of contact between them instead of going between the managers. It was him. They asked for a reschedule to 3:45.
oh, okay, okay. So we might have a little bit of little rivalry situation going on, potentially former teammate versus old team wanting to show up. I mean, we've seen this all the time in stuff like the LCS, where a player will go on to a different team or like get dropped, and they just really want to show it to like all of their former teammates and like managers and coaches that they're really just missing out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the revenge ego matchup, the first time you go against your old team, especially if you didn't leave them too willingly. They tried upgrading, didn't go well for them. Of course, Yuja did leave willingly. He did this thing called graduating. So, well, actually, I've never seen his diploma.
What is his degree in?
Um, Probably game design. I think he's one of those guys who has it in his Discord profile. Let me check.
Wait, that'd actually be so funny.
No, he only has USC. Because only USC matters right now, baby. We are gonna
True.
win.
Undergrad who?
Undergrad who? Well, aren't you?
We let's get in the game. Question mark. Maybe?
No.
No. Oh,
They're drafting offline because it's easier to keep track of Fearless out of client. It's a nice website that does it for you.
deflection failed. Womp womp.
Okay, wait. In chat, we says CS interactive media for Yunja, I believe. Yeah, that sounds about right. Something like that. So, you think he's gonna make the next League of Legends?
I mean, League 2, I'm here for it. Honestly, this game sucks. Make it better. Make it good.
Yeah, you and Joe, when you get on this, make it so we can have like, I don't know, we don't have the $500 gotcha skins for esports players, and then let me think, never take away our hex tech chests, and make a client that works. Okay, like those three, and like I don't know, just automatic success.
All I'm saying, also, the Twitch like capsules, I miss so much. Having like that monthly just like RP bonus and the skin shard. Do we have draft?
We have draft in a manner of speaking. I am stream sniping GJ Kings and the team as they draft. So we are going to see. Can you see Hydra, by the way?
Yeah, I'm not quite that blind.
Oh, I am, so that's why I asked. Anyway, so Ambessa, Bard, and Rengar bands, those are like such solo queue bands. The Rengar especially from USC. And then more standard bands, you have Aphelios, Oriana, and Rumble all banned, as we saw from the champion pool graphic. Those are definitely picks that our players have opted for before time and time again. But as I was gonna say, the other like sort of counterpart to Aphelios is Yunara, which USC are going to take on that first pick.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you're going blue side and you have a player with like Jinxa, you just slam the hyper carry instantly. You know you're already going to pick it, so it offers you a lot more flexibility in the later stages of the draft to kind of like draft around him. And we're seeing in response a potential Wukong. Wukong able to dive in on the Yunara, stun her up, get some more um get some CC that sticks a little bit harder than maybe like a Jarvan ult that she can just hop out of. And yeah, it looks like it will be the Wukong lock. And we will see what they pick next. They might just respond with an ADC. Usually supports are saved for later in the draft as to not give away their lane too much. ADCs are a lot more flexible in the way that they can play. And yep, there we go. That's what I was talking about earlier. We're seeing a Corki hover currently. And there it is, locked it in. Okay, so the Ynar versus Corki. This is going to be very support dependent. I'm expecting uh, Chief Oreo, the UCSC support to play something complementary to Corki, maybe like a Nami or a Lulu potentially to. Oh, okay. But in response, we see the Mundo Lulu Slam for USC. Mundo, a staple of GJ King's picks. And the Lulu there, so good with the Yunara. It helps her laning phase because Lulu's just an absolute bully in lane. It amps her up a late game to just absolutely demolish everything. And yeah, it's looking to be pretty stock standard. This is pretty much what we expected. Hyper carry Jinxa, get the hyper carry lane, get the Corki response, and a Yone lock mid. This is what we were talking about earlier. Some champs that are okay in lane, but very good on the side lanes. Able to pressure side towers, super good. Very easily take objectives. And yeah, I guess we'll see how the bands shape out.
Yeah. I think it's just okay. What Aphelios has been played like multiple times in the LPO previously as a sort of counter to Yunar to great effect. We've seen before Jukasa is definitely willing to play either side of the matchup. He's happy to play Yunar into Aphelios and Aphelios into Yunar. But with Aphelios banned, that's like the freest Yunar pick ever. And with a Lulu on top, imagine Wukong dives in and then Lulu presses W.
Yeah, or even just presses R on the Yunara. Like, Lulu has so many ways to make sure this Yunara is absolutely unkillable, no matter how much dive UCSC has. If the Yunara has a Lulu on top of her, it can negate so many different layers of it. And yeah, as we were talking about, we see the Nami band out on the side of USC, making sure that Corki can't quite get as enabled as possible. But we are seeing the Nico come out, which is almost 100% at this point. A Nico support. Nico Corki being a very, very aggressive lane. UCSC is definitely looking to get ahead in this lane and just make things happen. Punish this early Yunara pick, who's a little bit weaker in lane. And yeah, hopefully they can get ahead through that because it's not looking like.
Ari! Okay, so we have just B forward Ari. Um, um, there were, to be fair, three mid lane bans. The second ban phase followed up with the Zoe and LeBlanc bans. Ambitious is two highest mastery champions. So with that in mind, he opted for the Ari. Um, I mean, I don't really know what else you would pick here. So So it's fine, I guess. I'm excited to see Ari tentatively, and they're gonna follow that up with Cassante.
Okay, these are two both really good picks. Ari, traditionally pretty good into the Yone, able to stay safe on the side lanes with her ult and her E, and in lane being able to just cancel all of Yone's potential engages with E into Q, dealing a lot of damage in return while also stopping a lot of what Yone's trying to do. The Cassante as well, a very safe pick. We've seen it LPL, LCS, LCK. If you have something to blind, or if you need something to blind and you don't know what the enemy top player could be possibly picking, you just lock the Cassante. You just put him in the bag.
Yeah, and I mean we've seen Weird absolutely pop off on this champion before, so it's not like the weirdest champion choice we've ever seen. Where the draft at, you see, we are stream sniping it off of GJ King's computer, so we can't show it, but it's there. We will see it repeated in the client when we get there.
Yeah. The setup's a little scuffed right now, but we are doing the best we can.
Adeline, I do not envy you one bit. This job is kind of hard. We're producing off my literal laptop in a production room surrounded by these giant monitors and screens and stuff. We just don't have. I don't think we even have the login. So
Mm-mm.
okay, I believe we're going ahead and client. I might turn off push to talk because it only matters when our PNG tubers are on screen.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we are going to get into the draft. So as promised, you are going to get to see that probably in the approximate order that it occurred the first time. We'll probably just play it right.
The Medadas do not forgive or
You
forget.
did say their top lane or their support was an Abessa player?
Both. Their top laner who plays top as their top laner. And also that bard, which I can mention a little bit.
All right, I'm going.
Their top laner turns to
A true hunter never rests.
Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of funny to me thinking about, 2022 Barrel's Game 5 Bard pick. When he locked that in, everyone lost their minds like Bard. The few, Bard one tricks that were really famous out there were losing their minds. But then now it's just, it's a permaban against T1, for example. It's just so prevalent in the meta nowadays. It's fun to see how far we've come from this meta where, I don't know, I never saw Ari pick. Twice in LCS, and then, she got her R changes. And those resets, like the modern day League of Legends Classic, thank you, Retail Games. Because, I don't know, she just felt so much more playable.
Oh, that's not nice.
In a world where, you have Vex, you have Akshan.
There's always another way.
I have more
When we
important
started seeing
matters
actually
to attend
LPL,
to.
they would first pick it, trade it for Talia. Ari Talia every game.
Ari with Everfrost.
Yes, back.
That was peak.
I miss you, Everfrost. That was kind of toxic.
Oh, it's so toxic, but it was so much fun. You R in, just AoE root, R out. Just the complete utility Ari build. It was so much fun. I loved it.
Yeah, and I think now we do have variations on the Ari build. There's one I kind of hate, the Roa Ari build. I call it vegan Ari. Okay, like I understand when it has its purpose, it's helpful for survivability, but sometimes it just hypnotizes people. Like Chovy builds it, and then everyone goes, "Oh my God, Chovy built Roa Ari. I'm only going to build a Roa Ari." But then they go into a game where their team drafts Ari as like a secondary carry, and they're playing this Roa champion who, yeah, she doesn't die very quickly, although she's still not a tank. Like, be for real, she's a mage assassin. She's not a tank, and they go in, and then like they they think, oh yeah, this is my time to carry. They don't do any damage because they pick Roa Ari.
Yeah, like I'd argue Ari already does pretty low damage, especially compared to like other more traditional like either combat mages or like control mages where they're like spit out damage. Ari is really there and only really thrives when she gets that very important charm and gets the resets to able to be able to keep casting that R, keep casting the W's and the Q's. The longer the fight goes on, the more Ari gets value, and she has to be kind of balanced around that. Like she's not gonna be the best champion to get picks just like one and done, and that's like just a ton of damage up front. She has to be played around a very more stable, I'd say, team comp. She's very good at being able to get picks for the rest of her team to follow up on, but she's not quite as self-sufficient. And if you put her on the row build, she has even less agency. She really just becomes like a charm bot at that point, which is kind of sad to see.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of Ari gameplay I despise when she just becomes, a charm bot, and then especially when because the thing is, on R, that charm is like everything. When you miss it in lane, your opponent instantly knows, all right, yeah, I have like a 9-second window where I can jump on you, and you can't really do much. But and I think the worst thing ever is watching someone build a Roa Ari and then go into a fight, going to make that engage play, and then they whiff their charm, and then they whiff the rest of their spells. And yeah, their W and R do auto target, but you're building Roa Ari, you don't do the damage from that, so then you're just standing there like a loser, and it doesn't matter if you built Roa, if you're standing in the middle of 5 people, you're going to die. And it just makes me go, man, we paid Ari for one ability and we can't hit it.
Yeah, it's very much like a feast or famine type of Ari, which I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. But looking at these two team comps, how are we feeling about them? Me personally, I I kind of have a bias towards USC just because I know how much Jinkaza can pop off on this Yunara and how much the team around him can kind of facilitate that. But UCSC has a very, very strong dive comp. Depending on how this Nico, Wukong, Yone, even the set can find angles in these team fights, it can switch everything like on a dime. The Nico getting sneaky ults, sending her clone, disguising herself as plants or minions or other champions can really change things up, especially because Lulu cannot really help against the knockups. The Yone, if they get it on top of this Yunara, can probably just like one-shot her once they get like a couple items into the game. The Wukong gonna be very, very impactful, being able to stun and knock up most of the team. Applying CC not only to the Yunara but Lulu simultaneously is gonna be very important. Maintaining uh, the CC layers not getting like polymorphed right out the gate. The set too, if they ult this Dr. Mundo, even if the Mundo has passive, that is going to be so much damage going on the back line of USC if the set can position properly. So I think this is really going to come down to, can UCSC snowball early, or are they able to find really good angles for these team fights and really good picks with their positioning?
Oh yeah, don't mind us. We are going to get into game. And I'm gonna have to set up the spectator client on the fly. Let's go!
Oh my goodness, so much purple.
Yay! It's working! Okay, hold on. Let me just get these settings. Objective time. Yeah, we want those. And I'm also going to turn the game. Why are my notifications UI so high? Like, I hear every missing ping or what?
The ping heard around the world.
Okay, but yeah, so welcome. We are doing directed camera because I am not observing, producing, casting on a laptop. One thing I realized while I was looking at draft, Yunja is like kind of, in my opinion, a notorious Nico hater. Like every time he gets a chance, he's like, "Hey, can we ban Nico?" One of our strats is just have our other support Nutty pick Nico game 1 since it's fearless, can't be picked again. But Nutty is not playing today, so Yunja will be forced to lane against a Nico.
Yeah, and as we see here so early, this Corky and Nico just get to walk up for free, or maybe not for free. Okay,
I don't think Chicas has ever heard of anything free. He's like, hey, where do you think you're going?
okay. Well, they had a very aggressive positioning early, but they were not counting that Unara Q auto stack, and just ended up getting chunked to half, both of them, almost solo by the Jinkasa.
Yeah.
Losing a lot of their early pressure that they were trying to get for that level 2. They might just get chunked out this early and not be able to really CS for a while here. Not what you want to be seeing as the Corky Nico lane.
Don't mind me. My cursor's just gonna sit here menacingly. Oh, wait, no, we can't do that. So, anyway. Where should I put it? What do you think? What's the vibe?
Just put it like corner maybe.
If I put it there. We're good. We're chilling. Hydra for the win. Okay, so. Yeah, did get that heal forced out pretty early. And speaking of summoner spells, we have some interesting ones to look at. Mostly on the side of USC. Ambitious opting for the Ignite in this lane instead of a TP.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting, especially because USC is looking to team fight in this comp. Like, we have the big solid front line, we have the picks with the Ari, and then you just have the hypercarry Unara. I would have expected a TP, probably, just so they can maintain that 5v5 or 5v4 as much as possible throughout the game. But he is actually going for this Ignite, knowing that the Ari-Yone matchup is pretty skewed towards the Ari, at least early. So they might be trying to look at either getting kills on this Yone or invading with the Dr. Mundo and getting kills on this Wukong potentially. As we see GJ Kings and Wukong both finish their clears. The Wukong just acknowledging that Mundo's a little bit faster, going up for the top crab as GJ Kings maintains bot control. And oh my goodness, we are seeing an absolute slugfest as we were hoping for.
Oh! Okay, Corky's gonna pop the barrier there. They're actually just getting pressured out of there. And GJ King is here! Briefcase is gonna get taken by the Nico, but I don't think he's living. He just autos for the win. And now Nico is like, what did he briefcases her. 2 kills of GJ Kings. One of them counted as a solo kill. This bot lane is off to a really rough start for UCSC, but a great one for USC.
Yeah, I'd argue this is probably catastrophic for UCSC. You picked the Corky Nico not because they are absolute gigascalers who are just going to crush every team fight. You picked them because they're both so oppressive in lane that it usually leads to very large CS gaps, especially early, and a lot of prio on these bot waves in order to get early objectives and end the game as soon as possible. But Jinkasa and Yunja both playing very, very well, spacing out the Nico and getting those huge chunks at level 1 that we saw there. Able to just absolutely fry them. And we see the flash ignite. Ambitious solo kills the Yone.
Absolutely. That is why we take the Ignite. Who needs TP when you just bully your opponent out of lane?
Also, just want to point out, he bought a Dark Seal before he did that. That is like the most ego thing. Just buying the Dark Seal first back when you just have, you don't have enough quite for the Lost Chapter, but you're like, I'm gonna kill this guy in lane. You just pick the Dark Seal early, start stacking that AP, getting those leads faster and faster. If he buys a Medjai's this game, I'm gonna laugh so hard, actually.
Me too, honestly, because I mean, you have the Dark Seal already. The ego of buying a Dark Seal this early to lane, like with me, I have to feel it out a little bit more, you know. And at a certain point, I have to decide, yeah, I can buy a Dark Seal here because Medjai's and Dark Seal are like the int items. I swear, every time I buy it, I instantly die.
Yeah.
My stacks.
And even like against this team where the Nico, the Yone, the Wukong, there's so many like dive options, so many ways to just like go into one person and one-shot them. Buying the Dark Seal is very much saying, I'm not in danger this game. I am going to be able to get out. There's like no stopping me here. And yeah, we got like almost an entire level lead in the mid lane here. Yone not even having 6 yet, not having access to that ulti. 10 CS lead going Ambitious's way. And as we look towards the top lane, Cassante just kind of doing his Cassante thing. He's going to lose a little bit early to this set, just a little bit of CS, but keeping XP fairly similar. And just being able to scale up get a little bit of CS here and there, and just have that utility in the later game team fights that the set might not be able to provide if he doesn't get quite ahead enough. Okay, we see a little bit of trading in the mid lane, but we see GJ Kings knowing he is 6 and the enemy jungler is not, just walks straight into the Wukong, saying, "This buff is mine. You do not get to be here. I will just smite this and throw hands at you. If you want to stay, you can just stay and die." And as we see, because he was able to get a little bit more CS than the Wukong here, was able to have upgraded smite for this fight over the red buff. And Wukong, knowing that, is just not able to contest anything here. Gonna try to invade the bot side for blue side here and get these raptors if they spawn in time. But GJ Kings, knowing what's gonna be happening, knowing that his raptors are up.
Wait, you just on. He polymorphs Wukong. He's just gonna go over the wall, surely. Yeah.
Yeah, but
here comes Ambitious. He's gonna go ult in, misses. Oh, nice ult to get the redirect on the Q, and he is going to take down that Wukong without the bot lane coming in to help. So it's gonna be a 4-0 lead for USC.
Yeah, USC is playing this early game absolutely phenomenally, knowing exactly when their leads will come up and being able to press them so hard. We're seeing a 20 CS lead at 7 minutes in the bot lane here. Almost the same lead in the jungle at 7.5 minutes. USC playing a comp that normally you wouldn't expect to be ahead this far, this early. Going absolutely insane with their picks that they're very comfortable on.
Yeah, I just look at that early lead. Look at how little fear Jinkasu has. He gets rooted near turret. He just stands there. He keeps hitting. He's like, what are you going to do? And indeed, they can pretty much do nothing. Even pretty strong item discrepancy here. If we check the gold, yeah, he's up solid 800 gold on this Corki, despite only having an assist, but he's gotten so much pressure in that he's already off to a great lead. Mid lane, another 800 gold, 1,000 in jungle. Wukong goes forward. Look at the Lulu W. He's 6. Can he even do anything? No! Jigsaw is going to go in, and with the wild growth, he is going to be able to survive just a little bit longer. The flash in and Pop Blossom from the Nico will take out Jinkasu, and now Yunja is on the run. Here comes GJ King splashing in to try to finish the fight. He gets good AoE. Nico is full health. Everyone else is not. Corki just kind of gives up near the end.
Mundo goes where he pleases. He's going to dive the tower, smack the Nico. I'm pretty sure he already has Heartsteel on the Mundo here. If we're able to check the items again.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
he
already
has that
the
Heartsteel.
Yeah, immediately getting those Heartsteel stacks at 8 minutes. That is an insanely fast spike for him.
Actually, an ultimate from Ambitious. Yone is going to go back to the slow and bound.
Ooh,
Ambitious interrupts it, and now has the Ignite down, and that is just going to be a free kill. Okay. Nicely played.
Yeah, it is looking like an absolute slaughter everywhere but the top lane. There are enormous leads at such an early minute marker. And yeah, like the Corki here hasn't been able to back except for that death for a solid few minutes. And we saw in that last fight there, just had no damage. He had like a longsword and a dagger, where Yunara already had the Rectrix and the Heartbound Axe on top of boots. Jinkasu thinking they're a little bit stronger than they were, going in for that 3v1 essentially. Yunja trying to bail him out, but wasn't able to. GJ King's ending up kind of cashing out on all that free gold.
Yeah, my fault on the summer names. We gotta promote. Look at that, USC Yunja. Put your name. Hydra, do you have your school in your OP.GG? You're right, Jan? Oh, is it USC? No, you don't. It's okay, I don't either. I'm not really in the business of advertising which university I go to. If I played as well as Yunja, maybe I would, but like running around in my bronze lobbies, I don't like. I feel like that's against the rules. Like USC wants us to put our best foot forward. That my gameplay is not my best foot. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that is entirely fair. Okay, as we see here, the bot lane after the Corki, or actually the Nico was able to pick up that kill on the Yunara. The items are a little bit more even with USC being slightly ahead, but again, just this pressure that the Yunara and Lulu are putting onto this Nico and Corki, you'd be expecting it to go the other way around, but they're able to just keep their sizable lead, knowing they have free pressure and prio for this dragon. They just started up here, but it looks like the Wukong might be trying to sneak a smite in. calls it off.
Nah, he's like, no, ain't no way I'm doing that. I mean, honestly, an understandable choice. Yunja runs from the Corki, and now gonna get the Pop Blossom out. But Mundo might go where he pleases with this one, the Hugify just to get the knock-up. And now Wukong is going to respond with the Cyclone. GJ Kings is so taking now. Here is Jinko. Does he have the Transcends himself? Does he want to go in on it? He has that tactic Q. He is going to go in with that Transcends himself. He gets one kill on Slater. Might just be the only one he gets. And yeah, they are going to back off in the end.
Okay, yeah. Picking up the Wukong was a little indecisive there. They were thinking about potentially stealing the Baron. Or Baron, oh my goodness. Stealing the Dragon there. But calling that off, trying to go for the Lulu there, it just ends up running into the Mundo anyways that they were trying to avoid in the first place, and just making this bot lane and jungle so much more far ahead than they already were.
Yep, you see how badly they wanted that dive. With no mana, no HP Corki. Jinkus is just like, can we dive? Can we dive? But they didn't have the way for it, unfortunately.
And because of that Wukong's tempo loss there, because of that death, we see that the Mundo, GJ Kings, is just walking into his jungle looking for him, knowing he's going to be up here somewhere. And yeah, he just took away his raptors in his face.
That's my goat. The corporate Mundo.
Money man.
Looks so... It's actually just one of the greatest skins of all time. It's very iconic.
For sure. Okay, we do see the Wukong top here, while Cassante is pushing in. If Set can potentially hold this wave here, we might see something very spicy happen in the top lane.
Actually going down, so...
Okay, it looks like Wukong has just opted to focus more on the mid and bot lanes here. Just try to catch up a little bit in CS, seeing that he's almost 30 CS. He is over 30 CS down here. Knowing that he just needs to catch up in levels and gold in order to get to his first item spike. That Triforce being very important for a lot of his damage and teamfight capability. But GJ Kings is just more than happy to kind of just full clear, knowing that it's way faster than the Wukong, and just continue his lead.
Yeah, he's 4-0 on that Dr. Mundo right now. You know, we spent all this time at the beginning hyping up Jinkusa, hyping up Yunja, showed the stats, but right now, look at GJ Kings. He's the one with the huge bounty on his head, 4 kills to his name. He's been really making some things happen here.
Yeah, his macro's been absolutely impeccable, just knowing exactly where to be and when.
And he might be proving that once again, as Ambitious and GJ Kings are going to force everything out of the spot lane, but it's not enough. Ambitious, that was a little, I almost said ambitious.
I was gonna say it too.
Yeah, okay, so he was living up to his name there. That was a bit ambitious, but yeah, a free kill on that Corki. Again, just GJ Kings just positioned so well around. I feel like whenever the enemy bot lane is low, you're like, hey, can we do something about this? And GJ Kings is already in the bush. He's like, can we? Can you? I'm already on the way. I don't know about you.
Yeah, the communication between this bot and jungle here is absolutely spectacular. We're seeing that Jinkusa and Yunjia on this duo are able to kind of poke down and simultaneously push the lane while chipping away at UCSC's bot lane here, getting them low under tower, making sure they're perma pushed in so that GJ Kings, when he's well and ready, can just walk down perfect.
Transcend oneself.
Oh, and we're seeing potentially kill top. Yep.
My bad, guys. Haha, wrong button. But yeah, that is going to be a kill top over to Jinkusa of all people. Not is going to trade his flash for it. But you know what? You want to get your bot lane ahead, that is definitely one way to do it.
Yeah, as we were kind of saying, like, this coordination from the jungle bot duo is absolutely just pushing USC so far ahead in this early game. And we're seeing the Weird going for potentially a solo kill here on the Corki, missing the W, deciding against it, potentially.
Yeah, he hit that all out, but Corki just kind of backed off, so alright, fair enough. But we might just be getting Jinkusa a turret here.
Also, I just want to point out something very, very funny. The Weird, seeing that the enemy team is 80, 80, 80, 80, has bought 3 chain vests on top of plated steel caps. So he has said, I do not need a completed item. Cassante has enough in his kit already. I don't need anything extra. Just give me that armor. I will never die. And with these triple chain vests, he's able to lane swap so early into the Corki and just completely disregard him, being able to catch up and farm. Only down 15 CS now, whereas he was down about 20 earlier. and this Corki just falls further and further behind as Jinkusa has been fed tower after tower, wave after wave, just absolutely going very far ahead.
He is, in fact, speaking of going far ahead, he's just going to run down mid lane, going to try to jam this Corki. He is going to get that solo kill. Now here comes the Wukong popping the Cyclone, but Ambitious is here to back up, and so is Yunja. He flashes and gets the Wild Growth. A double kill over to Jinkusa. The Fate Seal is good, but it's not good enough. Ambitious is going to take that one down. And now Jinkusa is going in for more. Can he get this Nico? Yes, he can. And now Ambitious is, not Ambitious, Yunja is going to pay the price for Jinkusa's kills. Going to get shut down by that set showstopper. But, you know, I think Jinkusa is muttering into his mic worth.
Yeah, Jinkusa obviously knows his damage very, very well. The Kraken Slayer on top of the Fiend Hunter bolts. Once you pop that ulti, your next 3 autos just slam, slam, slam. And this Corki is almost one-shot, essentially. Like, killed before you can do anything. The Wukong quick to follow. Get exhausted by Jinkusa on top of Yunja's follow-up. There's just nothing they can really do about it. And until the set shows up, Jinkusa is essentially like walking free.
Yeah, honestly, just so well done by Ambitious and Yunja. You know, we have seen in the past Jinkusa go really far up into mid lane and often get caught out for it. It has lost games before, but in this case, we're seeing Ambitious and Yunja ready to follow up on that play. At first I thought, oh, this is just like a 1v1. No, bro. The Avengers are here, and speaking of being here, Ambitious is going to come top lane to help out Daweird in this 1v1. Daweird almost goes down, but it's really not a fair fight. Ambitious will pick that one up, and he has a fully stacked Dark Seals. Surely on his next base, the Medjais?
I'm very much hoping we see a Medjais. I just think that'd be like the cream on the cake of this game. And we do see that Daweird still does lose the set in the 1v1 there. Definitely taking a lot of damage, even though he's building so much armor.
His build is so comical.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for the Iceborne Gauntlet on top of his already 3 chain vests. Only gonna need about, I think, either 1 or 2 of those for the actual completion of the item. It's been a minute since I've actually built that. I'm pretty sure Cassante is the only champion that uses it nowadays.
Yeah, well, the chainmail is so comical. It reminds me of building, like, when I start ARM, I build 5 fairy charms on Yumi. It's
Yeah,
like,
just need the
it's the strat. Yeah, literally. Right, gonna go for something top lane here. Ambitious. I was gonna say, dang, that charm was like a lot of damage, but it was on the
We're
clone, so it
seeing a
doesn't matter.
flank from the Wukong. Looks like UCSC is just trying to get this pinch
Can
here.
he get Jinkusa? He is going to go in with the Cyclone, and the Showstopper is going to bring people on top of him. But Jinkusa gets the Wild Growth, gets a shield, but he's going to get shut down by the set now. DJ Kings is against 3 people. Yunja haven't gone down. Ambitious just solo kills Yone, flashes in, gets a charm to save DJ Kings' life. He is going to miss the redirect on that Q, but you have to feel this is now a winning fight. Get the ultimate to redirect that orb. Ambitious. Your Ari is so clean.
Yeah, UCSC trying to throw everything at the Yunara here. A little bit uncoordinated. The Wukong set and Corki being a little bit too spaced out to get that clean, just one-shot kill onto the Jinx, or onto Jinxa. And because of that, Ambitious on the Ahri is just able to assassinate the Yone and the Nico, getting completely out of the fight. And at that point, the UCSC just doesn't have the damage to deal with this Mundo Ahri combination.
God, that Ahri, oh my gosh.
Medjais.
Medjai stacks 10-0. Yeah, in a 20-4 game, I too would purchase Medjai's. It just feels worth it. He has 0 deaths on the board. Actually, all 4 deaths are from the bot lane here. This is kind of uncharacteristic from USC having like a mid lane carry.
Yeah. I'd argue Medjais is actually better when you're behind, just to get that potential, that little bit of gold potential turned into a lot of AP in the off chance that you are able to like get a play and come back from that. But like he has the Seeker's Arm Guard, he's so safe on this Ahri, outputs so much more damage than anyone else on UCSC's team. Just very confident in their ability to stay survive and get more and more stacks.
There it is, so free. UCSC aren't even in the area. If you'll notice, there is going to be the Dragon Soul for USC available in 45 seconds. They are going to base now. Home guards actually make resetting for Drake so broken. Like,
Oh yeah.
you could recall 30 seconds before. You'll be there. Don't worry. Yeah. So UCSC are going to look for something here. I believe. Yeah, they're looking at Daweird already, who is going to be chunked to half health. A lot of ping going for it, and Yone forces the flash out, but Ambitious already just killed the Wukong on the side. And now GJ Kings is here to try to back up Dull Weird. He is going to get out with a Pathmaker, and the Soul Unbound will snap Yone back. Now, a big Pop Blossom from the Nico. Now, will it be enough? Wild Growth goes out onto Dull Weird. Ambitious in the side. He's going to miss his charms. And now this set has actually gotten the Haymaker out, shut down Dull Weird, but now here comes Jinkoso flashing in. He gets Chief Oreo. He's going to get the Corki. And now the charm hits the set. GJ Kings is dominating a double kill and an ace for USC. And, you know, I could just guess here, but this might be a Dragon Soul too.
Yeah, Ocean Soul on top of everything else. Kind of redundant, I'm not gonna lie. USC is not getting particularly low, regardless, but as we saw there, that was a 4v5. USC just, that was like a close 4v5. The main carry, Jinkoso, was not even there for like 80% of that fight, just coming in to clean up the 3 kills at the end.
He didn't need to be there for 100%. He said, guys, I can farm a wave. You only need me for that last 20%. You know, get them nice and low. If you die, some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice that I am willing to make. And he comes in, he just plays the janitor in there. Now, Yone is looking for a bit of something onto him, but they are not at all threatened. Ambitious is going to ult forward. They're going to kill the clone here. But the Haymaker slays Jinkoso from half HP. Set going to flash out of there, but he will not quite make it out. Another kill over to Ambitious. 24 stacks on those Medjais, forcing the barrier out of Corgi, and still going forward. He is going to collect that kill just with the Orb of Deception, forcing Nico to get out of the way of his charm. And a Wild Growth for the fun of it. Ambitious is so terrifying. 14-0. Are they just gonna end here? I think they just end.
There's no way they even kill this Mundo. Like,
Good charm. Flash in the Pop Blossom. Watch Ambitious. The Fate Seal only lands on Cassante. That doesn't really matter. And now Ambitious and Yunja are going to take on this Wukong and the Nico. Nico has already gone down. Dull Weird and GJ Kings, you have fun with that, guys. We are going to hit this Nexus. Yone doesn't want any of this. And that is going to be a very quick win for USC, 28-6. 16,000 gold lead in the end there.
at 23 minutes. Okay, that was kind of an impressive game.
Yes,
That
I
was
would
a little
agree.
bit of a stomp. UCSC drafting towards the early game, not having that pan out too well. They were not able to get the leads that they were looking for, and because of that, when it came to like mid-game team fights, USC just had like the better draft for that. They were ready to just be strong in the 5v5, just have these two hyper carries. Well, I guess the Ari wasn't drafted to be a hyper carry, but ended up becoming one.
Maybe
at
she
least
was. What do we know?
I mean, true. Like, look at that damage.
The Yunara was
33K.
actually a support for Ari. Like,
Yeah, 33,000 damage in 22 minutes.
Oh,
Over
wait.
1,000, almost 1,100 damage, or it's like 1,100 damage a minute. Yeah, something like that.
yeah,
Absolutely
something like
ridiculous numbers for an Ari, a champion that's usually low damage, unless you do get these massive lead and build the things like the Medjais on top of your already high build. Able to get in there, get the stacks, so much AP, executing everyone early while the levels and HP values are so low. And
that. Yeah. So that just wow. And Ambitious just did everything that match. The damage charts. His CS 10.3 while you're going absolutely berserk on these team fights. Like, honestly, incredible game from Ambitious. I did not know he had that Ari gameplay in him. I'm gonna be hyping this up for all time. Like, Ari's my favorite champion to watch. You know, when I used to be really excited for Ambitious Zoe. I still am. I would love to see a Zoe. But I had no idea watching his Ari was gonna be so honestly thrilling, dare I say it.
yeah, I mean, we knew that coming into it, Ari's got a pretty decent lane to the Yone is one of Ari's better matchups, honestly, just because she has so much to kind of negate what the Yone's trying to do. But we did not expect him to pop off quite so hard on this usually more like lane neutralizing type of pick. And I think overall that game was just an absolute masterclass on the side of USC. Like, we saw them do essentially everything right. While some of the opportunities afforded to them might have been mistakes on the side of UCSC, what they did to press those leads and punish those mistakes was absolutely perfect. It was phenomenal. It was just exactly what you want to see when you get a lead. We saw the early invades, the Mundo fighting the Wukong in his jungle, completely pushing off because he knew he had level advantage and smite advantage. We saw Jinkasa and Yunjia setting up the lanes for dives, repeat dives over and over again, getting this Mundo even more ahead early, just being able to be absolutely unkillable in this mid game. We saw the Ari getting picks both top and mid. It was just so good.
Okay, we are going to go into a very brief intermission. I believe they're going to start draft. We will look at that soon. But until then, enjoy this victory stinger. Wahoo! Okay, welcome back. We are getting to draft. Again, you can't see it, but trust us, it's there. We are once again stream sniping the draft. Why don't you read this out, Hydra? This is your thing.
Yeah, I got this. Okay, so UCSC has decided to go blue side for this game, opting to get the first pick there. Seeing a lot of power in that. They first picked the Victor, one of the highlight champions of their mid laner. Very good side laner, very good scaling and team fight. I think they might have decided that the Yone was a little bit too risky there, not quite as safe as something like a stable mage in the lane. Um, in response, USC sees the immobile carry mid laner, locks the Jarvan, helping to get a lot of value out of that, just keeping the ults onto this Victor. They also pick the Jinx alongside it, Jinxa on the Jinx. Pretty big here. We're going to be seeing a lot of exciting plays, hopefully. In response to that, UCSC has decided to walk the Tristana, their second or first most played ADC, I'm pretty sure. A very aggressive, but also pretty hyper-scaling ADC, getting range every single time she levels up, having a lot of pressure, especially levels 1, 2, and 3, being able to deal way more damage than she really realistically should be. And on top of that, we see a Malphite pick. This could technically be flex top lane, but we've seen so often this past season, Malphite jungle. Absolutely a favorite of mine, being able to build the Zeke's Herald early, have a very strong clear even after the nerfs. Getting to have those ults off cooldown so often with the added ultimate haste that Zeke's has now gotten. Just being able to impact so many places around the map so much more often than previously he should have been. And we see ambitious Silas as an answer to that, being able to steal away the Malphite ulti, just take its like 100 or 90% AP scaling that the Silas is building towards anyways, just being able to absolutely one-shot whoever he decides is the threat in a given team fight.
Yeah, when I saw the Tristana Malphite lock in, I was like, oh, it's 2 Malphite ults! Have you ever seen a tactical play Tristana?
I'm not sure.
Oh, shit. Okay, you know what? I don't know what just happened. It turns out I cannot express emotions. Well, at least not this one. I can't express any emotions, guys. So, I'm sorry we can't show you the draft, because we are currently on this here. We will see it repeated, though. But, as I was saying, I'm never using my emotions again. These hotkeys have betrayed me. Okay, so, a Silas response to Malphite is so funny. Like, you pick Malphite with Silas up is so... I just know their ADC is going, oh god. But,
yeah, definitely a pretty bold move to just leave up the Silas when you're planning on locking that Malphite. I feel like most teams opt to ban it out, although banning it out does kind of signal you're drafting for Malphite, so it might have been a little bit easier to counter. But here in round 2 of picks, we see the Ornn blind pick, the side of USC. Ornn, a very stable champion, very good with the Jarvan, being able to headbutt off of his ulti to get knockups, additional stuns on the people who the Jarvan initially ulted, on top of just having that Ornn ult line it up in a small group of targets.
Please, please, please. You can't see it, but you're just hovering thresh. Please, 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 please. Okay, you know, I've seen it before, but I would not complain about seeing it. It is going to be a thresh lock-in. With the draft completed, we are going to get to the client, hopefully, and you will see this order run again instead of just us trying to play-by-play it for you. So let's head on over there.
Okay, and one other thing I did want to point out really quickly is, in response to the Ornn pick, UCSC has opted for the Aatrox. Ornn is a little bit tougher of a champion to just blind pick than maybe something like the Scion, which did end up getting banned against USC, than being able to not just blind that and have an extremely safe lane. Ornn is a little bit easier to counter, Aatrox being one of those big counters with a Q that's basically free. Just being able to pepper the Ornn out of lane, make sure he gets as little CS and experience in this lane as possible, so he's not able to get to the point where he can just start handing out the Ornn gifts and scaling up his team even further. We also see a Senna support locked in, Senna being one of the champs that Chief Oreo is more comfortable on. We haven't seen it as much as of late, it being phased out of the meta a little bit, but I am excited to see what they can do with it. Senna being a traditionally very strong support, even if Tristana might not be like the number one for it. Very good scaling, has a lot of different build options that you can go with. More range, more damage. You can build things like Black Cleaver to help facilitate your ADC and your top laner on the Aatrox. I'm very excited to see what this Senna builds and how they're playing.
The Medadas do not forgive or forget.
We are going to
The world is angry.
we're talking about play out once again.
All right, I'm going.
The same bans on the side of UCSC UCSC.
A true hunter never rests.
Oh, you guys didn't miss. Which is a little bit
Yes, but I would assume they heard us last time.
There's
but
always another wave.
We must all make our choices.
To be quite honest,
Wise to dread my return.
you know, we're just gonna talk like this drop like they can hear us. Assuming they can, that'd be great. And once we're going for spectator
You
delay,
reek of fear.
Okay, well, yeah, we're just making the picks. Each person picks as the Malphite is definitely going to stumble around the Malphite top. Unfortunately, although that would be very interesting, the Aatrox jungle being a little bit of an off-meta pick, but very strong all the same. We are seeing the Tristana and Senna bot, with Tristana being the main AD carry, Senna being support, and of course we see the very standard team fight 5v5 team on the side of USC, opting for Jinkasa on the Jinx, just being put in the best possible positions. But we do see the Sylas a little bit different than the normal control mage. I'm not sure how the Sylas does into the Victor. It might be a little bit of an even lane, if not slightly Victor favored. But once the Sylas can start looking for that Malphite, yoinking the ulti, it becomes so much more Sylas skewed, with him just being able to one-shot whoever he really feels like, especially once he gets 1 or 2 items on.
okay. I believe we have audio working.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers so crossed. Imagine, imagine we cast the whole game and and then the Twitch stream is going, where the audio at? We're just talking to ourselves in here.
We're just streaming the game.
Rubber
like just
room
the
with
VOD.
rats. Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty good. You know, we've got some highlight gameplay.
Yeah, and it's easier to clip because then you can put like music and stuff over it.
So, and then we can just like pretend we're casting the whole time. We'll just recast, but we already know it's gonna happen. So we just sound like so professional.
Oh yeah, get your whole script lined up.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. We gotta make the Jinkasa highlights. Yeah, we were gonna do that, but
So I don't know how to feel about draft this game. We see USC has a very stock standard draft, other than maybe the Sylas, but Sylas and Malphite is a no-brainer. But on the side of UCSC, they're playing some picks that are a little bit more unconventional that we haven't seen in a while. The Tristana especially. It's been a hot minute since I've seen Tristana in pro play, but I am an absolute Tristana lover. I play her bot, I play her mid. I an absolute Tristana fiend. Her ability to pressure early and late game is just so much fun, and the resets on her W, like,
Mhm.
unmatched. Like, it is
that's
just
that's so real of you. I love Tristana.
Tristana's the best, but I hate playing against her because her early is so oppressive sometimes. Yeah, we're seeing the Aatrox into Ornn, which should be a winning lane for the Aatrox. Pretty hard winning lane, in fact. The Malphite into the Jarvan, I think they should have about even clear speeds, if not the Malphite having a little bit faster with some of the AoE damage he has. The Jarvan might be able to match him, though, with better pathing. The Victor into Sylas lane should be slightly Victor favored. So it looks like UCSC is trying to do more or less what they did, what they tried to do last game, which is get that kind of early lead, but they're not quite as stuck into that. They are able to scale with the things like the Senna Tristana being pretty good scaling, as well as the Victor. Like, they're not all in on winning this game early. Even if they are a little bit behind in the lanes, there's still plenty of potential for them to get picks, especially with the Malphite, and even just scrapping the straight up 5v5 with this Tristana, Senna, Malphite, Aatrox, Victor. They're able to lay down a lot of AoE damage and CC, and if USC isn't able to get key targets picked off, get this Jinx ramping up with her passive, it could be pretty tough.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, Yeah, so we could go to game 3. I hope we don't, because I told the team before, hey guys, the Stinger transition for defeat is actually 300 megabytes, and I know,
Why?
I know, bro. It's like 8K, I guess, or something. But yeah, that transition is huge. So is the victory one. So I only downloaded the victory one because this is my school laptop, and I said, guys, I only have the victory stinger, so just make sure to win, okay? They said, yeah, we got it. They always say that though.
Okay. I mean, if the other side wins, it's also technically a victory. Just play
True.
the victory
Doesn't
stinger
it say
anyways.
USC victory though?
We'll ignore that. Okay, we are getting into game here. Hopefully we'll be able to see what is happening here soon. Ooh, the Machine Herald Victor skin. How do you feel about that?
Machine Herald Victor?
Yeah, the old Victor style on the new Victor model.
Okay, bruh. You're okay, so you turn I don't know if I can say what I want to say on broadcast. I really can't. You turned Victor into a skinny but still buff sort of you know.
Alien boy.
Yeah, for sure that's what I was gonna say. Is he, like so yeah, we made him a little different. We made him skinnier, and then we actually had to change our splashes to make him skinnier in the splashes, which was so comical. Who? Okay, so that guy, the fat alpaca,
Shout out to
our
that guy.
dear observer, is not with us right now. It sounds like he's dead. Okay, wait, he's alive, guys, but I guess he's trolling the stream. I'm not gonna turn that off for now, so please don't troll me. But yeah, so they took away old Victor, which I heard a lot of Victor mains were not happy with, and then they're like, hold on, we'll give it back to you in a skin. So you have to pay for it back. So that
I mean, the skin was given to free if you had Mastery 10 on Victor before it was released. So
that's kind of cool.
For all the people who actually played Victor and actually cared, and not just like the people who were kind of jumping on it because hating the new thing is fun, they did get recompense. They got that skin back, and okay, it looks like these lanes are going pretty even, about how we expected. A lot less action than before, with UCSC not absolutely needing to get these early leads here. They're okay to just kind of sit back and farm a little bit, like a little bit safer.
I mean, yeah, give me that cannon minion. Come over here, bro.
The tower.
Honestly, Jinka's actually like getting the princess treatment. Like, here you go, my liege. One cannon minion for your convenience. Oh, so that was funny. We're not gonna do it again. I elbowed my mouse cord. This is why I was asking for recommendations of wireless mice.
That makes sense.
You know, we talk about RAM prices. No one talks about mouse prices.
Is it bad?
It's good. Why is the price 3 digits for a mouse?
That is kind of crazy. I've had the same mouse for like 6 years. I almost added an extra year to that, as the range was not exactly
so
precise. So I caught myself.
I'm gonna cover your mouth now. It's gonna be a solo cast from here on out. Yeah, we're gonna pretend we didn't hear that, right, guys?
I didn't say it. I caught myself before I could.
All right, you know what? I'm proud of you for some restraint. After spending time with the JV team, like, it really gets to you. You don't understand what the JV team is like. I mean, our top laner, we have 3 of them: Sinbad, Guilt, and of course, 6-7 action, 6-7 liquor.
Yes, sir. That's my goat. Okay, we are seeing the Jarvan. Okay, I mean, most of the lanes are pretty inconsequential. We do see the Jinx Thresh lane up a little bit. Kind of as to be expected, the Thresh being able to...
Oh, flash out of the Flogging Drag. Well done, but now they might turn around. The stun is just barely going to catch GG King, so he's going to try to flash on out of there, but a flash in from the Malphite and an electrocute on Malphite is going to secure the first blood for UCSC.
Okay, well...
Ambitious, that was a little extra.
Okay.
Well, that happened.
So what I was going to say before that happened is the Jarvan was clearing a little bit
Hey,
faster.
you'll get ambitious ping.
Oh my god.
Yo! Hey, bro, if you were in Levy, by the way, you would have 50. I'm just saying.
It's true. As I was trying to say, the Jarvan was a little bit faster than the Malphite on this clear, was able to get the bot scuttle before the Malphite even showed up. Attempted to get the double scuttle, which is very impactful in this season because of how the jungle smites are now reworked with the jungle pets. Getting the double scuttle leads to a lot of advantages that you can potentially grab.
Sauce gonna go down on the 2-foot hop out of there. Let's go. I mean, I wouldn't want to hop too much far, then you miss the wave. But yeah, kind of scrapping the spot lane, but the Senna sustains. Gonna keep them topped up here.
Yeah, we were expecting this lane for Ambitious to go a little bit rougher than the first one.
For sure.
Victor having a pretty decent matchup into the Sylas, especially in lane. He's very safe with his Q shield and E poke, being able to keep distance from Sylas, and even if Sylas does hop on him, being able to kind of being able to cushion himself a little bit from the impact of the Sylas combos. Especially with Sylas going Conqueror here instead of Ignite for the lane, we are very much seeing Ambitious saying, okay, I'm probably going to lose this lane at least a little bit. I'm just going to play for the late game team fights or the mid game team fights where I can consistently grab that Malphite ulti, and that's where I'm going to be impactful. He is very much kind of
bot lane here, flashing double flame from Yuja, and the death sentence lands on the Tristana as she tries to flash out from Senna, but that's not going to get her out of the way, and now Jinx is just barely not going to get that final kill on the bot lane. That Tristana is so low, but she will not go down quite yet. They are most definitely... Jinx W? Okay, it's gonna miss. There is a Malphite in the area, so Yunja cannot step forward. Ooh. And the Unstoppable Force is gonna knock Jinx up. Barely any HP left, but the Lantern might just get Jinx out anyway.
Alright, that was a very... The Malphite almost coming in, able to clean up a little bit of that, get some gold back. Just barely avoided by a very well-communicated Thresh Lantern. Jinxa picking it up almost as it drops, being able to kite away from this Malphite. The damage from the Malphite just barely not killing Jinxa there.
He has Electrocute, so...
Yeah, the Electrocute didn't quite do it, which is really not what you want to be seeing as an Electrocute Malphite. You want to be seeing this Electrocute really put in that last little bit of damage to get you those kills and snowball into an early Zeke.
For that Lantern was so clutch. Dare I say, it was a little bit Chinese, as in I would put a small amount of money, not a lot of money. Actually, a bit of an all-in coming in mid lane. Is Ambitious going to get the kill? He uses his Ignite, but Victor will not quite go down. But, like, I would bet a small amount of money that Yunja told Jinx to take the Lantern in Chinese. They do tend to call him in Mandarin. Just yesterday, I was watching them. It was Daweird, GJ Kings, Jinxia, and Yunja in a voice call. They were in 2 separate duo ranked games. Jinxia and Yunja were speaking Mandarin, and GJ Kings and Daweird were speaking in English, and they just ignored each other. It was perfect. Okay, the death sentence is going to land onto this Tristana. The snap traps are not quite going to get her, which means she is going to hop out, but she barely has any HP left. Jinxia might... Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to get it unless he levels up soon, but...
Yeah, the same as game 1, we're seeing Jinxia and Yunja just being able to out 2v2 Serpent Shadow and Chef Oreo here. Even on champions that should be a little bit stronger early, like this Tristana, the Thresh and Jinx not coming online until a little bit later, they're just able to get so much of an advantage just by spacing and having a little bit better micro. They're able to get a substantial lead in the bot lane.
Keep the Malphite away, but the Unstoppable Force is going to go in onto Yunja, who might just be dead to rights. He's going to pop the box, but there are 4 people here from the spot side. GJ Kings is going to go with the Cataclysm, because here comes Ambitious coming to join the fight. Now the Flag and Drag might hit, I don't know, but Chef Oreos is about to go down, and now Jinxia has gotten excited. He is running forward, and the exhaust going in onto this, the Victor is going to mean a shutdown actually for Jinxia, and he might look for even more. That Super Ring at Death Rocket doesn't quite get it. He autos the turret, which is a shame. Ambitious is going to get them with the Chain Lash, but is going down to the turret. Now here comes GJ Kings trying to get that last bit of damage on Malphite, but he does not have the HP, but here comes the wave. This should be a free kill. GJ Kings can just take up this turret for a little bit, and yeah, Jinxia is going to pick up that kill. 3 kills on Jinx already.
Nice, very well played. What started off as kind of an iffy play with Yunja getting picked off so early by the Malphite ended up being very, very good from the side of USC. The communication here, super good. The target picking, very, very clean. We saw there that Ambitious, instead of going straight for the Malphite and trying to grab that ulti as soon as possible, very, very disciplined, stayed onto that Senna along with Jinkasa, able to get Jinkasa the reset as fast as possible, and just snowball the rest of that fight so cleanly. And yeah, they just played it really, really well. The target selection was on point, and they were able to get every single last member of UCSC that went down there.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. You know, we saw Jinkasa and Yunja play this Jinx Thresh in NECC, which was streamed over on their channel, humiliatingly because we were against some of the best collegiate players in the region. But yeah, we didn't win that one. But they did play Jinx Thresh against, I believe, Ezreal Nautilus, and they played it, I want to say, a little too aggressive. In fact, if you check out our the interview I did with Jinkasa, he said Yunja, in comparison to Nutty, the other support, who seems to be too afraid to make things happen sometimes, Yunja is trying a little too hard to make them happen. We saw them play a little too aggressive on this game, so I was a little worried coming to this that they might repeat their mistakes, but despite, you know, being against a Tristana, Senna, theoretically, like you said, should be strong early. They've just been really popping off here.
Yeah, it really comes down to the fact that Senna, she can't make quite as much space as a Nautilus might be able to.
DJ Kings, does he have the Cataclysm? Oh, he just got it, he's gonna use it, but the Ensemble Force is going to get Malphite on out of there. So nothing gained unless the Flay lands, the hook does not.
Try to predict, didn't quite land it. But yeah, this Thresh here, classically not very strong early, especially into other frontline champions like the Nautilus or maybe Leona or something like that, is actually doing very well here, being able to put so much pressure onto the UCSC bot lane. Neither of these characters wanting to be hooked, particularly the Senna and Tristana really needing to not be CC'd to really fulfill their roles here.
Yeah.
So they are getting shoved in quite a lot by the pressure that Jinkasa and Yunja are able to put onto them.
Yeah, I mean, Thresh very much is a get down Mr. President kind of champion, or more get out Mr. President sort of thing with that dark passage and his lantern. But yeah, the way they've been doing it is just so impressive. We have a completed item for Jinkasa already, the Hex Optics, Under Sky, bounce item for the Jarvan and GJ Kings, and a Zeke's Convergence actually. Okay, on the Malphite. Void Grubs are going to go down in favor of UCSC. However, I have been told time and time again that Void Grubs, well, time and time again, twice, GJ Kings was watching a lot of LCK recently, and they do not often take the Void Grubs, actually. They just find it, you know, they're not worth the prio. That is not a zoom out.
We're being lied to.
We're literally being lied to on stream, by the way. This is as far as I zoom. I know, I want the full lane view as much as you do, but I can't get it. So this
Laptop gaming over here.
Laptop gaming over here. Laptop production, observing, casting, everything. We are literally on this laptop and I have the stream open on my back.
All in one, let's go.
Let's go!
Okay, we are seeing a very sizable lead in this bot lane here. Almost 40 CS up, and 2 kills and a support. This Jinx is very much accelerated as to what she should be against the Tristana, or at least what you would expect her to be. We see GJ Kings.
The junglers are back!
Lurking here for potential lane gank.
Duct Tape
The
Knife says I'm
Malphite
doing great,
also
thank you.
nearby.
Alright, jump in with the Unstoppable Force, but Jinkasa is going to flash out, and now here comes the re-engage. The hook is going to catch this Tristana off guard, but GJ Kings just barely isn't going to be able to hit it, and the Super Mega Death Rocket goes wide, actually hits the Senna instead of the Malphite, so there will be nothing gained. 2 flashes expended by USC, 3 flashes by UCSC. Actually, Yunja probably flashed in there, but he has Hex Flash, so it doesn't matter. They're going to push a wave in here. Ambitious is the first on the move. He's probably going to look to get something done here. He actually looks to turn on that Victor, but is not going to hit the Abscond Abduct. So nothing to be gained there. A little bit of a nothing burger play, except for a turret in Jinkasa's pocket. I want to see how much gold he has.
Yeah. All things considered, it looked like a pretty much even play. Everyone expending basically all of their summoners and ultis. But in the end, because the lane was so pushed up into the side of UCSC, they were able to completely take the tower after that.
Wait, that was so comical. Alright, the Ignite ult and everything from Ambitious is going to take out Serpent Shadow, a solo kill of epic proportions, and now he's just going to go jump in on that Senna, and that is just a support Senna. She is going to go down 2 solo kills in a row from Ambitious, and if I press X again, you'll never guess what's in his inventory for this.
Dark Seal.
Let's
We'd love
go.
to see it. Okay, yeah. Um, right there, we saw, well, Ambitious knew this Tristana doesn't have an item yet. This Senna is not going to do anything to me. I'm level 10, they're level 8. I'm so much stronger here. They're already half HP. And just absolutely
Speaking
goes
of half
for it.
HP, Yunja is getting pretty low here, getting collapsed on by the Aatrox. World Ender is going to get popped, and Yunja is on the run. The box will not slow. Well, it actually does slow them down like a considerable amount, but not enough to save Yunja's life. But you know whose life it might save? Jikasu,
Walks forward.
unless he does that. Alright, so anyway, Ambitious is going to jump in this fight. Dawning Shadow over the top, already got DJ Kings really low, and now the Call of the Forge God forcing out the Cataclysm from DJ Kings just to try to get something done, but a triple kill already for the Aatrox, and now Da Weird is splashing out of the fight. He does not want any more of this. Couple pings on Aatrox alive. Yeah, they know their top laner just got massively accelerated by that play. A lot of a misstep from Jinkasu there. When Yunja sacrifices his life, he puts that ultimate down, very explicitly slows two players. You know, leave me and run. Jinkasu though, he goes, oh, I can get a free auto. No, you can't. No, you can't. That is a Malphite. He has ultimate. He just jumped in there, and there's absolutely nothing Jinkasu got hit by the Darkened Blade first, and then he gets hit by the Unstoppable Force. So just, no flash, Jinx. You can't step up to that.
Yeah, USC getting a little bit greedy, thinking that with their lead, they were able to basically fistfight anything and come out okay. This Aatrox, on the other hand, discreet quite a bit, getting a lot of damage down. That super extended team fight, being able to heal up so much.
Alright, Ghost's gonna be popped by Victor, but the Flag and Drag is going to catch him again. Yunja should have the death sentence again. Yeah, I mean, easiest hit ever. Super Mega Death Rocket for the style points. Malphite's in the area, but I don't know if you want this, bro.
Alright, Kaon going down on the side of UCSC. This play instigated by the Thresh and the Jinx. The Victor thinking they're okay to get out from there, but the follow-up from GJ Kings, again, the coordination between this bot and jungle is just so clean and really good at accelerating and getting consistent leads for this bot lane.
Alright, yeah, we are going to see the Drake going over, presumably, since Malphite is on base right now, to USC. Once again, doing a really great job of Drake stacking here. We saw them prelude a lot last game. I've spoken to GJ Kings. He just feels that Drake stacking in general is very strong. Soul is not enough to end games. Alright, Ambitious with the stolen Buster Shot is going to get Tristana really low, forcing the barrier here, and Tristana's own Buster Shot. This mid laner is so scary.
Yeah, with the Hextech belt there. Oh, we see a pause.
Dang, he scared himself. Reason 1000 pings. Pings 390. Ping. Okay, fun fact about Ambitious, actually. He told us the other day he plays on 60 FPS.
That's crazy. If you have any drop in FPS, you're instantly just getting, like...
Slideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we might as well be playing on a PowerPoint.
That is bold.
Yes,
say.
the fact that he... the fact that he is able to play like this, on his FPS and his ping, which is a little bit higher than it is here in Levy for most of us, is really impressive. I can't play that Ari like that, like 120 frames per second.
Okay, so as we wait for the ping issues to resolve here, yeah, the game is looking a lot closer than the first. I'm not gonna lie. Those kills going over to the Aatrox, him having pretty good CS on top of 3 free kills and shutdowns. The Aatrox has a very good chance of making plays this game, being able to more or less avoid the lockdown of the Jarvan, being able to dash over the wall. As long as he isn't like just perma CC'd and one shot by this Jinx, he can last through these fights and absolutely rip through the front line of USC.
Okay, we are back from the pause. What I wanted to do was check on this Victor right now. Does he have an upgrade Hydra? I don't play Victor. I don't know what it looks like.
I think he has 2.
Yeah, he's working. Oh yeah. This does occur. This freeze. So we're gonna start this time. Yeah.
However, that. Okay, yeah. So he does have 2 upgrades currently: the Siphon Power, the Q, getting an enhanced shield, as well as the Hextech Ray, getting that second laser coming through, that explosion, almost doubling the damage on that E. Very good for wave clear, very good for team fights.
Yeah, that's honestly just so nasty when Victor gets it. It just enables him to do so much more damage in a fight. And they are going to use their newfound top prio to go onto this Herald. Kings is around here. They do know about it. I'm unsure if they're going to do something, however. Yeah, okay, he is going to try to go in, but he is just too late. Now here comes Ambitious with the Absconded Duck, forcing out the unstoppable force from the Malphite. Ambitious is going so low, and he is going to be taken down by that Arcane Storm. It's not a Chaos Storm anymore. Yunja, good triple flay to try to get himself out of there, but he still might die. The Flame Chompers are actually what's going to keep him alive, because that will root down any of the opponents that try to chase him. So actually, a little bit of a Jinkusa saving Yunja's life for once.
Yeah, and it played out basically as we thought, with this Aatrox being very tanky now, buying the Mercury Treads, being a little bit harder to kill by this Silas, not being able to be quite one-shot, especially without the Ignite there. The Aatrox was able to get very, very low, pop the ulti, get 2 Qs off, go back up to full HP, and just absolutely annihilate the fairly squishy at this point front line of USC. Jinkusa not being there to finish the Aatrox off absolutely swung the fight in the direction of UCSC, and we're looking at a pretty close game here.
Yeah, in fact, UCSC have a small lead. This Aatrox is really just ripping through them. Ambitious is Dark Select. That's gonna be, unless Yunja. Yeah, no, this is fine. This is absolutely fine. Just get on out of there. No need to fight that. But yeah, the bounce house that they have with that unstoppable force and the Aatrox Qs, it's just, they get GJ Kings jump to that Cataclysm, but like, are you stuck in there with him, or is he stuck in there with you? I think it might be the latter, because he just got absolutely obliterated in that fight, and Ambitious just really doesn't have the burst damage, like he did, well, Ari, but like he would on his super fed Ari last game to really be able to affect that fight before he too begins bouncing and goes down.
Yeah, the amount of damage just a single purchase of the Mercury Treads can afford you, the amount of damage resistance it can give you is just a lot more surprising than most would assume. A lot of mages, if you just buy Merc Treads against them in lane, can no longer affect you, essentially. And this Aatrox is just going to have absolutely free reign to get this top tower here. The rest of his team kind of supporting him by moving into this jungle, giving him a little bit of space, making sure he's not going to get collapsed and ganked here.
Speaking of ganks, Call of the Forge God is going to whip, and GJ Kings is going to flag and drag onto this Malphite, but he is quite tanky. Now the Last Embrace is actually going to get a double root because GJ Kings steps back. The Death Sentence will carry them back, but honestly just absolutely nothing really done. Just a couple of ultimates pop there. Dawning Shadow from the Senna and the Call of the Forge God from Weird.
Yeah, not a lot happened there, unfortunately, for the side of USC. But at least they didn't lose anything, as well as we just have Jinkusa scaling in the mid lane, Ambitious against Keon on the Victor here, just chilling in bot lane essentially. The Victor in not much danger here from the Silas, as he has so much tankiness with this Leandri's row build, the enhanced Merc Treads, the shield from his evolved Q. He is very much just happy to sit here, get his final evolutions going, while the Silas, somewhat the same, is trying to get enough items to be able to one-shot either this Tristana or Victor in the later stages of the game. Both Jarvan and Malphite kind of fall off after a few items. The Jarvan here looking to get what looks to be actually it might be Black Cleaver that he's trying to build towards to strip through some of this armor that this Malphite is trying to stack here.
Yeah, we are going to get a bit of an NA ram here. 5 versus 5 in the mid lane. You see on more of a flank. Ambitious is going to get the Unstoppable Force away from the Malphite, which could be what turns the fight. Alright. Okay.
Okay, looks like the Tristana did not mean to go into that Rift Herald there. Seeing that the tower was not there to be grabbed, just decides to kind of make a feint.
A little bit of a car accident. Right, and this is a little bit on the right here. The Death Sentence will land onto the Malphite. Not sure that's the greatest target. Call of the Forge God is decent. The GJ King is just kind of wandering. He's going to get Death Sentence passed for some reason, and the Super Mega Death Rug is not quite going to finish off the Aatrox. He flashes forward to try to take down Yunja. He's not going to quite get it, but GJ Kings goes down in the background. A shutdown over to Jinkusa, however, and now he's gotten excited. He is going straight forward. He has already used his flash, and he might not be able to get any follow-up now with the Super Mega Death Rocket taken down, but that is just more kills in Jinkusa's pocket. And possibly, yeah, another Drake. It doesn't look like Malphite is intent on sticking around, so even though they have no jungler on their side, USC are just going to take this Drake.
All right, there we go. That is exactly what we wanted to see from the side of USC there. They were able to separate the Aatrox a little bit. The front line and back line there on the side of UCSC being a little bit too separated. They were able to focus down this Aatrox, Jinkasa hammering into him with the more reminder, applying the grievous wounds, keeping that healing low as possible. This Aatrox not being able to get back up to full HP like he was in previous fights. And Jinkasa getting that reset there was able to also secure another kill onto the Victor.
Yeah, I mean, that get excited, like, what is there to say about it? Jinkasa truly is a snowball ADC, and so is Jinkasa Jinx. Like, the way they were able to turn that fight, it was pretty split. I feel like Gia Kings, he went in there and he was like, kind of like, wait, what am I doing again?
Yeah, this Aatrox is definitely still a menace, pumping out so much damage onto the front line, but Jinkasa on this Jinx was able to keep a very, very good distance, especially with this Hex Optics, I think?
Yes, the Hex Optics. Oh, an Ornament, actually, now popped out into him, unsurprising. I, too, would go for an upgrade on my AD carry, and of course the mid laner on the Silas's Riftmaker. I'm kind of curious. What is the gold difference? Oh my. Oh, the spotlight gold difference is a bit extreme. 4,000 gold is the lead for Jinkasa.
Almost flame horizoning the Henry Wattler Serpent Shadow here.
And honestly, not to discredit Serpent Shadow, just look. It's all about Jinkasa. Look at him, 281 CS at 1 in the game. We are just coming up on 24 minutes. He's nearly 12 CS per minute. Like, he could be setting a new record here. His current record being 11.6 as we went over in the pre-show. But just wow.
Yeah, as we saw, like, Jinkasa is just taking every single bit of CS that he can. The Jarvan really just stops getting value from items at around 2, maybe 3 items max, getting maybe that GA to get a little bit more survivability in team fights, a little bit more.
Right, Unstoppable Force is going to go on Ambitious, who does have a bit of that survivability in fact, Yunja. A teleport coming in onto this field, they might look for something on this TP. The Death Sentence is going to catch the Malphite, not an ideal target, and now the chains will drag Yunja back. Call of the Forge God hits the Victor, and now Ambitious just goes straight forward with the Unstoppable Force, but he is going to have to flash out. He still gets the kill, and the Lantern gets him on out of there. GJ Kings has already gone in, but the Tristana just goes down to Jinkasa now. Jinkasa is excited. This Aatrox is going to try to fight 3 members of USC at once, but he is not going to be able to win this fight. Weird will take him down, and now Jinkasa is running forward. He is going to take the kill into the Malphite, and the Senna is just fleeing for her life, but that means USC should be able to take this Baron for free.
Yeah, and Jinx being funneled all this gold, had 4 items for the fight. In cast fights, he had a fairly low damage loadout, I'd say, but Phantom Dancer, more Reminder, Hex Optics, not that much crazy AD or crit enhancements going on. But as soon as he hits that IE, USC says it's time to fight. We are so much stronger on our AD carry. We can just run at them now, and Jinkasa being able to kite out with the enhanced move speed from this Phantom Dancer, not being able to be just run down by this Aatrox, is able to put out so much damage with the gold lead he's been afforded.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was starting to think, oh, we're getting a game 3. You know, the lead, while not huge, was still kind of significant. Although we might be looking for a play here. Yunja, where's the Death Sentence going to go? He's actually going to take a ton of damage from that Tristana, and the Flagging Dragon is going to miss as well. So Yunja is actually really low right now, but here comes Jinkasa. He's like, hey. Jinkasa, please don't walk forward. Please don't walk forward right now.
Okay. Yunja and GJ King's looking to get a little bit more, potentially getting a little bit of tempo off by killing the ADC. But Tristana very safe with a W there, getting healed up as well by the Senna, who has been going for a very much enchanter focused, heal focused build with both the Moonstone and the Helios.
That's kind of interesting. I haven't seen that on Senna before.
Yeah, they changed her Q, I forget how long ago, but they reworked her. It was like the 3rd or 4th rework she got.
Alright, Yunja Death Sentence is going to hit the Tristana, which means he's going to pull her back and jump in there. Flay is actually going to interrupt the rocket jump. That was beautiful from Yunja. And now Jinkasa is dominating. He's going to flash out of the Unstoppable Onslaught for good measure. The Flagging Dragon will catch this Malphite. Victor's already gone down. This Aatrox is on the run. He's so strong, but he's also so low. Superman Death Rocket does not hit, but it's fine. That is already just such a big fight win off the back of, honestly, a really, really clean Thresh play from Yunja.
Yeah, that is what they were looking for that first time, getting the Thresh hook into the Flay that cancels out the Tristana W. Tristana W, while a very good kiting and engage tool, is susceptible to CC if you can time it right.
Chat, are they ending? There's no way.
I think they're ending. There's no way they don't, right? They gotta wait. Yeah.
They do. Tristana's up now. Alright, they are going to get the knockup onto the Aatrox. And with the Aatrox down, this next turret is going to go down really quickly. Ambitious jumps forward, trying to get that absconded out. He is going to hit it, which means Tristana is going to go down in short order. The Death Sentence will actually get sent out of Fountain to get a double kill over to Jinx at the very back end of the fight. And once again, USC are going to take a slightly less clean win over UCSC 2-0 in the favor of USC.
All right, looks like you could use the victory stinger after all. We see a little bit of an inversion of last game, whereas Ambitious was kind of the carry of that first game here. Look at that damage on Jinkasa. 39,000 in 27 minutes is insane. 12 CS a minute. They were absolutely funneling this guy.
Holy.
GJ King's taking a large sacrifice to his own money, his own gold income, knowing that Jarvan is like a 2-item wonder. Just give everything to Jinkasa, and with that gold, Jinkasa was able to hit 4 items while his enemy laner was on 2.5. He just absolutely got hyper funneled this game and was able to snowball and press that advantage so heavily, and it led to them just being able to win the team fights, whereas it looked a little bit scary in that mid game.
Yeah, just on it. Wow. That ending, I was like, guys, no way they end here. Like, you're something. No, they're like, we end for sure. I guess I don't know anything really when it comes to this, but I do know this is ridiculous. 12 CS per minute while he's putting out this carry performance. This damage is also absurd. In 27 minutes, this, oh my god. You know, I mean, it's honestly no surprise with how accelerated he was, but when I clicked X and we saw that 4K gold lead, I mean, you know, shocker. He still had those 4 items near the end of the game, but just wow. Jinkasa saying, wait, Ambitious, you had your moment. That's cool and all,
This
but
game is mine.
yeah, let's not forget AD carry, bro. I don't see mid carry. Okay, it's me, and I'm going to do my job and do his job. He did 12 kills. Good what? Let me do the math. It's what, 60% of the team's overall? Yeah, okay, 60% of the team's overall, and just 90% kill participation already. He actually has more KP than Yunja as support.
Yeah, it was like we saw it in the mid game where it slowed down a little bit. USC was not looking for quite as many plays, and we saw Jinkasa was missing from many of the plays that they did make, like that 3v3 they went on with the Jarvan, Silas, and Ornn going onto the Aatrox. Didn't pan out for them so well, but that entire time while everybody was focused on these skirmishes, Jinkasa was just farming and getting so insanely fed off of just the CS alone.
Okay, I think look at that victory stinger. Woo! We win these. We are so good, bro. You know, we do have some members in person. What do you say, Hydra? We try to get one of them for an interview.
I'm down. Where they at?
Hydra, you're on duty. Go out.
I have to go get them.
Go out into the world. See if you can get someone. My
okay.
goat. Thank you.
I'll try we go.
Let's go. That's how Yunja wonder. Yunja's here, so like he has no excuse, right? We're gonna get an interview, and if we do, maybe I can just put. Maybe I can do a little something. Let me download. Guys, we're getting a special one. We are gonna get GJ Kings in a second once I choose one of these wonderful photos for him. And I'm gonna add it. Wait, that's huge. Hey, Jin-Ho, what's up?
Hello.
Yeah, this isn't scuffed at all, guys. Welcome to the wonderful world of my laptop production. Okay, so pretty convincing victory. Had a little weird bit of a moment in game 2, but how are you feeling after that win?
It was pretty easy. I don't really know what their plan was coming into draft, because game 1 they picked all AD when I don't really know what they were thinking over there. They picked all AD, and then game 2 they are leaving Silas open when they're just gonna pick Malphite. And
Yeah, that was
Malphite
so
like
bad.
Malphite nowadays after like he's received a lot of nerfs in the beginning of this season, and he's not like really viable. Like I think in a game 2 of Fearless, so I'm not really sure what they were thinking. Like whenever Mike has flash, they have nothing for their engage onto Mike, so like it was pretty easy. Like also I thought the Senna pick was also quite odd.
Yeah, Senna was a little weird. Yeah, I think you truly would know about the Malphite jungle pick. We saw you play that a lot. We actually had it on our champion pool graphic that we threw together slightly last minute. But yeah, you had some crazy Malphite jungle games. My favorite was the Pantheon though. So today, you know that one top play where Jinkusa, okay, Yunja goes down, he pops the box that really slows down those two people chasing, and Jinkusa walks forward.
Well, I don't remember which play is this.
It's top lane.
Oh, okay. When
yeah,
we when
yeah.
we're running away.
What was going through your head?
Oh, I like Loki. Yeah, that was just a bad play. Probably from Gabe. He was probably looking for too much, but like we don't really like we're trying to get into the mindset of like looking for plays rather than just standing by and doing nothing. So although it like failed, I like how we're thinking as a team and constantly looking for plays to look at. Although that one didn't go so well.
I mean, Jinkusa could have just left, but
Yeah, but we gotta look, you know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So
Every
true.
mistake is an opportunity.
When you're already qualified for playoffs, you might as well. Does Yunja want to join? Like, I can get the PNG in here real quick.
Yeah.
Gabe, come on. Okay, but we are unsure if he's joining. He might not. Okay, hold on. I am going to do something crazy. Watch this. Guys, guess what? We have two people here. Rip Hydra. You will be remembered.
Yeah.
I could actually get him in here. We might as well just put the whole squad. Hydra, what do you say? He said no. All right. All right. So, how are you feeling after that win, Yunja?
That's pretty good. Beat my old team. Pretty nice. Even though I don't know 4 of them anymore.
Revenge
It
match.
feels good. Feels good.
So that was kind of a nasty Thresh play, that mid lane thing, where the hook on Tristana and the flight intro. Bro, I think I screamed during the cast. But
Really?
yeah. So we've seen. I think this is your third Thresh pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tracking on a spreadsheet. What about Thresh makes you want to pick it over, a lot of these other support champions that go with Jinx?
Usually because I'm like pretty good at it, but for today especially, I played a duo game with my favorite ADC Jinx today. Didn't perform as well, and so just to like try to prove to my boy Jinx that I'm okay at the champion. I just told him, or I guess I begged him, let me play Thresh, and
Instead
it
of
worked out.
Yumi?
Yeah,
It was pretty good there too, because we rather than picking something like a Nautilus, we wanted something to kind of appeal more for Mike and give him mobility with the lantern, right? So that was like our mindset behind that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I believe you were already qualified for playoffs 3-1 going into this, but now you are extra qualified. Looking forward to playoffs. What's your preparation strategy gonna be?
Try my best to not into my duo game with Jinx, and study UC and Uber. That's like the 2 opponents. Everyone else,
Well, we're probably, if everything goes as like expected, I think we'll be against ASU in the upper bracket of the playoffs, and we'll have to prep for them if that's the case, but we don't know yet. Till the
we
results
did lose to
all come
them, didn't we?
in. It was a close 2-1.
Yeah, we were actually prepping some clips. We wanted to get some Jinkusa Kaisa highlights. We had that Kaisa Yumi game that we were gonna put. He's watching me through the window. He heard me talking about it. He was like, "Hey," but we also got that one Kaisa in mid lane clip versus ASU.
Okay.
that we were talking about. Yeah, you're just gonna be like, yes, he's the GOAT, but sometimes he goes a little bit too far forward. But then again,
Nah,
he's
it's my fault. It's never his fault.
Yeah,
Wrong mindset. Liz.
we
So
gotta
what's
keep looking.
It's always the four of us that's at fault here. Like how could he be wrong? Right.
so true. That's the GOAT, Jinkasu.
Yeah, he's the president.
Literally, we were talking about it in game. Get out, Mr. President. Get down, Mr. President. So any closing remarks? Any shouts for your teammates?
I don't know. I honestly expected the match to be a bit harder than it was, but like it was an easy victory and we got to go home early.
All right.
Wahoo! All right. Thank you guys. This has been Liv and Hydra, and also Juju Kings and Yunja for the interview. USC win. GG easy. Oh, I mean, what?